On Tuesday, Apple announced a new Apple Watch and new iPhones, and I wanted to give my thoughts on both. So Apple introduced a new Series 9 and a new Apple Watch Ultra 2, and from the outside, they look pretty much the same as the previous generations, but they did introduce a couple new features. One new feature that they introduced was the double tap gesture. So while you're wearing your watch, instead of using your other hand to interact with your watch, you can now double tap with your index and your thumb, and your watch will somehow register that double tap as you interacting with the watch. So instead of using your other hand to tap the screen, or I've done it myself, my hands are full, I'll use my nose to kind of tap at a notification. You can now double tap with your finger to interact with your phone. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think I would be getting a new Apple Watch. I have a Series 6 and it's working just fine. But I think it's pretty interesting that they're using this double tap interaction method as kind of a way to get people used to double tapping with their fingers, because Apple introduced their Apple Vision Pro, their VR headset over the summer, and the main interaction for that is to double tap with your fingers as well. So I think it's an interesting way for Apple to get people used to using their fingers to double tap to interact with their devices. Another thing that they announced was that they are getting rid of their leather Apple Watches. In a sense, they want to be more, they want to hit carbon neutrality by 2030. And one of the things that they're doing is they're getting rid of all of their leather bands for their Apple Watches. So they introduced a new material called fine woven. I think it's pretty cool. I would have liked to see, a lot of cars, they use, fake leather or vegan leather or pleather for their seats. And I'll be honest, I kind of like the feel of that. We have a Tesla Model 3, and the way the seats feel, like they feel really nice. They're not leather, they're fake leather. I would have liked if Apple somehow used that type of a material for their new Apple Watch bands, but I want to see what those fine woven watch bands feel like. But aside from that, seems like a pretty iterative update to the Apple Watches. Now on to the iPhones. The iPhone 15, to me, it's basically last year's Apple 14 Pro. This year, the base model iPhone 15 gets the dynamic island, so it's that little cutout at the top of your screen where your little notifications or status updates will come up. The camera gets updated. So basically, they took the 48 megapixel camera from the 14 Pro, and it becomes the main camera for the new iPhone 15. The outside looks the same as last year. It's made out of aluminum, but they did something to the glass where it looks like a frosted type color for the back. It looks kind of cool. I haven't seen them in person, but I'm interested to see what that looks like. The iPhone 15 Pro, the main thing that they changed on that one was USB-C. I think it's a great idea. My family, we have MacBook Airs, iPads, and they all use USB-C. I mean, we all have iPhones, and those currently use Lightning. So there is going to be a bit of a transition, but I think going to USB-C is going to be a lot easier once you stock up on USB-C cables and accessories. Just having one cable to charge your laptop, your iPad, and now your phone, I think that's going to be super helpful, and it's going to simplify all the cables in your house. The new iPhone 15 Pros are made out of titanium. The phones have gotten a lot heavier over the years, especially as the screens have gotten bigger. The old phones were made of stainless steel, which, if you pick them up, they're pretty dense and they're pretty hefty. So the new ones are going to be made out of titanium, which is a lighter steel, and apparently they're just as durable as stainless steel, but they're going to be a lot lighter. As far as the colors, I think the colors are kind of lame. There's natural titanium, which basically is titanium without any color added or any finishing added. There's black titanium, blue, and then I think it's white titanium. I'm kind of leaning towards the natural and the white. I think those look pretty cool. The sides of the titanium, whereas on the stainless steel, it's really shiny. On the titanium, it looks brushed, which I think is pretty cool. There's a new action button, so there's a mute switch on your current iPhone which mutes your phone. My phone is always on silent. I don't like to hear my phone go off. I like to get all my notifications on my watch. But with the new iPhone 15 Pro, there's a new action button which you can assign different things to do once you push it, ranging from muting, turning on the flashlight, turning on the camera, or running a shortcut. I could see myself using the action button to turn on the camera. I have kids, and all I want to do is try to capture something that they're doing, and having a action button to launch the camera immediately is going to be awesome once we upgrade. And one last new feature that I want to talk about is portrait mode. So they showed off in the keynote that no matter what camera mode that you're in, if there is depth data of the subject that you're taking, you can go back and turn on portrait mode if the camera was able to get enough depth data on the subject. So you don't have to explicitly go to portrait mode if you want to take a portrait mode style picture. You can just take a photo of whoever, and if there's enough depth data that you can go back and change from a standard photo to a portrait mode, which I think is pretty cool. So those are my thoughts on the new products that Apple announced on Tuesday. You can pre-order them this Friday, and they're going to be available for sale next week. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.